Morning class. I hope you are all fine, healthy, and safe while watching this video. Today I am going to show you how to solve architectural design problems, particularly the one that I have given you, the proposed subdivision clubhouse. So step 1, you have to read the design problem very carefully. You read it again and again until you understand the problem, until you have the grasp of what is the design problem. It's very simple. You just read it. You read each page of the design rationale. Okay. So next is you highlight and take note of what is required. So in terms of space planning, and design. So the design requirements. And second is the drawing requirements. These are the output that your instructor are asking from you in order for you to express those design solutions. Okay.
To read the problem very carefully. Maharlika subdivision is designed to promote healthy, socially connected lifestyle for its residents through the creation of tightly integrated neighborhoods which maximize distance view. Diversity and creativity in design are encouraged within an underlying harmony of compatible styles, appropriate details, important elements of design within Maharlika subdivision. So reinforcement.
So even though that I have read the rationale again and again, this time I encircle the words. Those are the clues on the correct solution of the problem. So you underline these words.
Okay, so you highlight the design requirements. So the design requirements.
So after you highlight those words, you are now going to write those clues. You have to organize them to where it should be put. Okay? Because the clues are scattered in that rationale. So you have to organize what words or what clues are um, into the site development category, or the perspectives or elevation or floor plan. So you have to organize those words. And in this way, your thoughts also are organized.
Maximize distance view. Maximize distance view. Diversity and creativity encouraged within the harmony. Community identity. Through architectural style. Pedestrian friendly. And human scale. Okay. Maharlika develops central variety elements from hotel to economic. The elements include relation as may siya ang space requirements. Dapat na siya cool. It should have a clubhouse. and other facilities, appropriate skill, activity, community neighborhood. Common facilities within elements considered designs and focal point of the community. Focal point. Visible sites. Then community pedestrian connectors such as open space, pasillos, sidewalks, connect to the clubhouse. All architectural elements, community center common facility, such as street furnishings, benches, lighting, trash, etc. should be consistent. Initial mga small details. Street furnishings, benches, lighting, trash receptacle. Consistent ni siya. Should be consistent. Ini siya, design. And can be seen at show in perspectives. Okay. So the clubhouse recreation center include clubhouse building, indoor fitness gym. So these are more or less the site. No? Ini siya, site. And the clubhouse recreation center, clubhouse building, indoor fitness gym, swimming pool, spa, shade oasis, restroom, shower. Okay. So common facilities includes amenities. Sa site ni siya, sa site development yapon siya, includes space requirements, basketball court, jogging of catwalks, walking paths, trails, then another natural open space. So repeated niya siya, natural open space 1, and then 2, no? Then there's neighborhood parks, dog park, there's sitting node, and there's public area. Okay, so after you read the design requirements, you will going to write down the drawing requirements. So take note that you have to put the written supplementary data or space programming. Then your research. You have to submit schematic. You have to submit the schematics. So these are the table diagrams. These are the design criteria, matrix. You have the bubble diagram and the schematic diagram. And you also need to submit a design concept board, how to site development plan, how to clubhouse floor plan for elevation and 2 section, 1 exterior and 1 interior perspective. Okay, and a defense video. So, ano siya ang step? Yeah? Next. These are the requirements.
Okay, so that's my demonstration. So you have to write it down. In that way, you'd be able to organize your thoughts and organize the clues to where it should be seen. Okay, going to the next step is the step number 3 is to list what is given. So you have to look for uh, the number of users. You have to look for the size and orientation of the lot because it is given on the problem. The location of the project, this is the northern Cotabato. You have to list it down because it would help you in formulating your design concept. And you should also take note of the adjacent roads, building, or space. Any assets uh, that is present in the the site, the proposed site. You should take note of that. And the architectural style. In this problem, the architectural style is given already, which is tropical architecture. So don't introduce another architectural style uh, because it's not asked from the problem. So you have to take note of what is given because you cannot change that. It's given on the problem. So you have to use those given to solve the problem. Okay, back. I'm sorry. So here's my demonstration.
Okay. Given. What is
So I
given?
list down the
I list down
given.
what is given.
So I find it because it's scattered all over the page.
One is the
So
number
again,
of
you have to
users.
look for that.
Review again. So 60 lots. So number of users 60 because of this 60 lot. 60 lots. Registered homeowners or less because one owner could own more than one lot. Okay, so number of users. Okay. Another thing is you would take note of the size of lot site. So in this case, it's 60 by 70. Then you take note of the location. It's located in the north Cotabato. Okay. Then fourth, you take note of the adjacent lots or space. So since since considering, you have to sketch roughly the site. This is the subdivision lots. Then the road. 10 meter road. Then the road. And then is 10 meter road. So this measures 60 and measures 70. And the fifth is take note of the architectural style. So it's tropical architecture. So I think this is all the given, and you can proceed to the next step.
Okay. So for the next step is step number 4. The design process. So you are now familiar with the design requirements, the drawing requirements. You have taken note of the um, the given. You already familiarize with the size of the lot, the location of the project. Um, you also have familiarized the existing existing condition of the site, the adjoining streets, adjoining spaces, um, the architectural style that is required. Now you are ready to process your thoughts in creating a good solution to the problem. So the design process also have steps in 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 achieving a design solution. So since it's a process, so you should undergo each process. Do not skip one because it would affect your design thinking or approach. So the first step on the design process is you research. So you research about the building laws and standards needed to the problem. In this case, PD 957 and PD 1096 is very helpful. Um, you should define the required spaces and know the required architectural style. You research the design elements of tropical architecture, and you research about the location of the site and its culture, which is the North Cotabato, and know the existing similar projects in your area. If you are in Cagayan de Oro, know the existing subdivision clubhouse that are already built in this place. Um, just observe, or since we are in a pandemic, you research from the internet what are those existing clubhouse. So in the um, context of a subdivision, so membership, ang clubhouse is for the exclusivity of the members. So since it's a subdivision, so meaning the members of that clubhouse is the homeowners of that subdivision. Okay? Example, or this work of um, this particular student, good because he researched about the place, he analyzed the existing features of the site, and he researched about the tropical architecture, its elements, the shades and forms, and also the orientation, the spaces. So that's an example of a good research. And also the presentation. No? He has drawings or illustration to express or to write down necessary information. So next step in the design process is you create your space programming. So you have that information from the research. You now in space programming. This includes identifying problems and needs, then providing the right amount and type of space, equipment, and furniture needed to function efficiently. Space programming moves from broad consideration to the very specific occupant needs. So, I have here an example from you, my student. Um, so, this work I find it good because um, from the design requirements that he got, um, he analyzed each spaces, the needs of uh, he have the analysis of what else should be put, should add to the given the required space. So in terms of receiving areas, you should have reception, lobby, coffee lounge. In the recreational area, you have to put gym, and then the gym should have reception, exercise area. So he goes into detail, and he put number of users, the area per person. This is based from your research, and then the total area. So in this stage, you have that picture already of what is the sizes of the spaces, because you have scrutinized what are the equipments needed on the space, what else should be needed on the required space. Okay. So the next step in the design process is the creating of criteria matrix. So the word criteria refers to the program requirements, and the word matrix is best defined as a rectangular arrangement of elements into rows and columns, according to Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary. The criteria matrix attempts to verbally and visually organize design program requirements in as concise form as possible, achieving an overview of the problem in an at-glance format. Because in this stage, you will create this matrix, and then you you analyze the adjacency of each space. Um, is it it should is it on the public or private areas? It should Whether it should have views. It should be what are those special equipments that are needed. So it's part of analyzing those um, function of each areas, the proximity of each areas. Okay, so you will create um, one design matrix for the site development plan, and you will create another criteria matrix on the buildings that you're gonna um, make. Okay, so now um, you have analyzed all those things. You have this rough uh, estimate of the sizes of spaces, and you have ideas now of what space should be in proximity with each other, what spaces should have public access, or what spaces should be hidden and private, or what spaces are um, that should have service areas. So now you are ready to make a bubble diagram. So to save time, you have to my technique here is, when I do my bubble diagram, I do it um, on the lot, no? I drew the lot, and side by side I analyze the site. So bubble diagram and site analysis, I do it together. Okay. because in considering the in placing your your spaces using bubble diagram, you have to consider man your site. So I find it effective if I include the site in making bubble diagrams. Okay. So by definition, bubble diagram is a freehand diagrammatic drawing made to be used for space planning and organized at the preliminary phase of the design process. The purpose of the site analysis is to provide thorough information about the site assets and liabilities prior to starting the design process. So here's my demonstration of how I do it.
Okay. Now you are ready. Now you are ready to create your bubble diagram, but make sure that you to save time, you reflect your lot. So bubble diagram plus um, site analysis. Okay. So first you have to create your lots. So you have to create your lot. Okay. Okay. You consider the adjustment.
So in this stage, not necessarily that it the it should be scaled, or you should use straight edges. You should use I mean, you should use drawing tools like rulers or T-squares. In this stage, just a freehand. Just let your mind flow freely. Okay.
Adjacent plots. So here's the plots, and 10-meter road, 10-meter road, 10-meter road, 10-meter road. So this is your north, this is your west, your east, your south. So your entrance and your exit, entrance and exit. Okay, so from the one, you take note that there is a creek and there is a mountain. Breeze and a breeze. Morning sun, morning breeze, morning breeze and afternoon breeze. And the sun path. And then there's the prevailing winds, amihan and bagat. The amihan and bagat. Okay, prevailing winds. Okay, so after analyzing the prevailing winds, before you create your bubble, you some kind of a divide your lot. So it's either you could divide it half here, or here. So you have to take note of the quiet areas, noisy. Usually quiet areas are private, and usually noisy areas are public. And there are spaces that's in between, semi-public or private. So you have to decide, no? So in analyzing which of the spaces belongs to a private and a public. So when you solve your design problem, you'll go back to your notes. So go back to the notes. So the design requirements, you want to maximize distance views, community identities or architectural styles. So sa elevations na siya. Elevation makita. You can show that sa elevation and then sa perspective. Pedestrian friendly is sa planning. Human scale is also elevation and perspective. No? The clubhouse should be focal point. Connect. So when you do your bubble diagrams, so you want to, let's say, you want here more public, or you want here private. No? So you want to cut that there. Since it's a focal point, so you create your bubble. So this is your main clubhouse recreation. And we could move it here, no? For the because you want to showcase a focal hmm, focal and should be seen on both sides. So this is your parting, and then this is your, you could make this active, and then more. So public, private, semi-public. Okay. Okay. So you avoid putting your, so you analyze na the site development plan. You are going to analyze the site development plan. So since it's a focal point and then the distance view, so you're gonna put the open space here. Here beside. Do not put your parking. Put your parking here. Parking beside. Okay, beside parking. We could provide a drop-off area. Then parking. Then this one, parking. Okay, open. You can visibly see the clubhouse with this open space. The clubhouse. And this is your active basketball court. So basketball should be on the north and south. So you don't want to have a glaring, when you play basketball. So this is your clubhouse. And so could put your other facilities here, more private. You can two-story. Two-story. So the patios, the open space, you can sitting node, parks, good open space here. And since the hierarchy of spaces, consider the hierarchy of spaces. So this is your main. So it should be just open lang. And then the jogging paths, you can put the other parks here. Parks. And then the sitting nodes, you can put people. You analyze. Okay? So it doesn't mean that this stage is the final. So you have just to consider the quiet hierarchy of spaces. Hierarchy of spaces. What else? Traffic flow. Okay. So drop off. So you want to divide. So I access it here, and then it's visible on all sides. The clubhouse is visible on both sides. Okay. So after the bubble diagram, you are now proceeding to the schematics.
Okay, so that's how I do my bubble diagram. So I analyze which are the spaces under quiet areas, noisy areas, private, public. I analyze the traffic flow in terms of people, vehicles. Um, I organize my spaces according to hierarchy of spaces. So meaning you prioritize what is the most important space. So in our case, in this problem, it's stated in the problem that the recreational area or the clubhouse building should be the focal point of the whole development, and it should be seen on 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 sides, on each sides, four sides. So that's it. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. So you are now on the schematic design phase, or side by side you can create your initial form while you do your schematic design. So by definition, or schematic design will show rough sketches of spaces evolved from your bubble diagram. So it has the correct dimensions of spaces derived from the space programming output. So you use your analysis, your output on your space programming. Uh, you use that here. So in the space programming, you have that rough estimate of what the space should what the size of the space should have. So in this stage, you can initiate the basic form of the spaces in two-dimensional floor plan and three-dimensional form in terms of perspective. Here's my demonstration.
This is more or less realistic in size. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is your side. So the correct sizes. So now, considering that this space, so you have now the proper, maybe you have a 10 setback of big one. You have the proper, and use the rest for parking.
So you have that correct sizes already, but not necessarily the lines are perfect. Um, the most important thing that you do in this phase is you integrate the correct sizes and you analyze the planning of the space. In that case, and um, on my demonstration, I I started to put some drop off areas. So from based on your research, uh, 'di ba naka-research ka about the building laws and standards in terms of the correct sizes of the parking space, correct sizes of the drop off. So you apply it here. You reflect it here in this space. Okay, you apply the correct dimensions of the spaces.
This one is certain distance of the car.
And to take note, a lot of you have mistakes of putting your entrance to the corner. It's a no-no because um, you'll create blind spots for the drivers, and your design or your planning is not safe. So if you have researched well, you will bump on design guidelines on how to design parking areas. Um, and so you will consider putting setbacks, or you offset your entry points from the corner of your lot.
So you have this open space. Then put your sitting moves there. Then your okay. So provide the proper drop off here. enough for a car to maneuver properly without disturbing. Okay, wrap it up. So this could be your building, clubhouse, and you orient your plastic equipment in the north south direction then this would be your parks. Okay, you can be creative with parks, or you could put your pool here, center, pool, and then new parks. Okay, so mention schematics. City nodes here. Just directly. One way is the service. So you can use this as service area. So then you can use this as service for your service. And from back of the house. So you have flexibility. You can put your spa, service of lunch, entry.
Okay, so in this stage, this point of time, I am now analyzing what the space planning should be on the clubhouse. So since you've reflected already the entry points and the exits, now your mind would now starting to think of what your building should look like. Whether you would go for a one-story or a two-story building. Well, it will depend on if the sizes or the areas could fit on one floor plan. Okay.
So in one, I have to back service. And then one, yung second floor, I put second floor for the spa and gym.
So now I am um, starting to sketch the second floor because in my mind the area intended for the clubhouse will not cater all the spaces needed for the building for the clubhouse, the spaces for the clubhouse and recreational area, considering that there is indoor gym, and the multi-purpose hall. Okay. Okay. So I guess the video was cut. Um, I'm sorry for that. I will just tell you what will be the next on this. What should be the next on this clip? I started to make the building form, because you have this um, the initial plan already. So in this stage, you can create now your form, a rough sketch of the form, um, uh, whether it's symmetrical or asymmetrical. Okay, what would be the look, whether it's rectangular or square, or should you put high ceilings, you um, you put uh, accents, or what, or um, based on you can input na here your design concept, no? If it's visible on the form and the elevation. Okay. So again, it's not yet the final, but at least you have started the the total form of your project, or the total form of the building. So next step is you review your work. So take a tour of your site development plan and floor plans with the following role. So first, you put yourself on the shoe of the users, the public users. In our case, the homeowners. So the homeowners, there are families, there are adults, children. In terms of gender, there are male and female. There are PWD, there are seniors, old age. So you have to consider that. In doing that, you are able to know their needs. And next, you put yourself on the point of view of the management. So what are the things that you need to function well? So if the spaces you've provided is enough, um, can they work comfortably with the spaces that you design uh, on the schematics, the result of your schematics? So the next is the point of view of the employees, the regular employees, particularly the services, utilities, and maintenance. So in this way, you'll see clearly uh, the needs of those people uh, working on on that development. Okay, and you ask your mentor or friend to criticize your work. So in our case, I let you submit your work to me, and I send it back to you um, with my feedback. Step number 6 is you draw your final drawing. So after considering all the comments coming from you from the role making exercise, and the comments coming from your friend or mentor, you are now ready to draw your final drawings. So you pencil it first, you draw with scale, you apply alphabet of lines, and you use proper symbols, because it's very critical. If you use the wrong symbols, you wouldn't be able to convey your idea very well. It will create misinterpretations, and that is not good. Okay, so don't forget to label your spaces and drawings. You specify your materials used, and you put dimensions. You complete the dimensions. Okay, because in that way, the reader could understand your work. So now I am going to um, discuss the things that I want to see on your final output, on your final drawings. So in the concept board, um, this work, I find it good, because in terms of presenting his or her idea, uh, He is organized. Organized. Um, her lettering or his lettering is regular. Uh, can easily be, it's readable. The illustrations are clear. And when you do your concept board, you present your idea in such a way that it is clear and organized. So when you say you present your idea from top to bottom or from left to right, no, there's a, a flow of idea, not just scattered all over the boards. No, it should be in organized way. Okay, so this work I find it good in terms of the concept board. And the next is the site development plan. Okay, so the presentation is nice, the rendering is nice. There is an application of shades and shadows. The dimensions are complete. There are complete labeling of the spaces and materials. So the space planning is also good. So this one is um, one of the best work in terms of site development plan. So floor plan. Okay, so there are symbols here. No? It's the rendering are good. Um, the furnitures are in detail. In terms of planning, um, there are a clear segregation of quiet areas and noisy areas, public areas, to private areas. And the use of symbols are, and there is a proper use of correct symbols and complete labeling of spaces and the application of alphabet of lines. So uh, no, there are thick lines connoting important or solid lines or solid walls, and the thin lines are those uh, less of an importance in the floor plan. So in terms of elevation, the 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 one that I am looking for a good elevation is the application of the elements of the tropical architecture, the required architectural style. So I look for the application of louvers, um, breazolets. The materials used are in tropical architecture vibe. Uh, the composition of the elevation, of how you compose um, your elevation, if there is an application of the basic design principles such as rhythm, accents, balance, the proportion, the massing, no? Dili lang kay flat wall, then ada yung mga windows and doors. You should arrange it in such a way that it's aesthetically pleasing, because as a future architect, you have to provide your client not just a good functioning spaces but also aesthetically pleasing. You have to master that. And next is for the sections. What I'm looking for the sections are the detail. So you have to show the solid and the voids, meaning the void, you should know the, if you cut um your building, by the way, you have to reflect on your floor plan the cutting lines, the section through A dapat naa dito sa imong floor plan kung asa ka nag-cut. And you should cut your floor plan on showing the vertical um, circulations such as stairs, no? Stairs. Because sa section man makita if how many steps should be on a stair. So if your headroom are are good, or dili ba mabangga ang head sa tao if mag-use sa stairs. So those are the things that I am looking for a good section, no? Aside from the standard qualification of a good drawing, like application